the design of the tourniquet hasn't really changed since the 1800s, since the Civil War. I mean, if you even look at the technical drawings of it, it looks exactly the same nearly. So there's not been any integration of technology, which I think is critical in the evolution of this. There's not been good science and good data on what a tourniquet is, where it needs to be placed, and how it's going to stop the flow of blood and stopping the bleed. Nobody's taking on this because they go, oh yeah, they own the space. We're not going to compete with this. You know, if I teamed up with a guy like you who's a technical, analytical, biohacker who understands, the relationship between the physical body and data and technology, and we look at it from an approach where we're taking subject matter experts that want to make it better for the men and women, in the field who are getting shot and blown up. And we document that process, which is a big thing that we like to do. Dude, we would crush that market.
So yeah, let's sit down and explore more of what that could look like and what we could kind of bring together.
Yeah, I think it'd be huge, man. I'm excited about the future. I mean, it's exciting.
But yeah, I'll see you in person in a couple weeks.
Cool, man. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
All right, cheers, Mike.
Yep, later.
Bye.
Just got off the phone with Jeff Wu, super intelligent Asian. We typically are, a little bit smarter than the average. Can I say that? Is it allowed? Jeff's a good dude. He's tied into a lot of biohacking. I first saw him on a Netflix special, and it was a documentary about data and technology and the integration of technology. And he convinced me to buy one of those rings that you sleep with to track some of your vitals. And it's actually helped. And I like analytical guys like that. I like Silicon Valley guys because my background isn't that. So often I talk to people and try to get people in my network that aren't like me because I've spent my whole life hanging around people like me. So yeah, Jeff hopefully could be a business partner in the future and somebody that we could work with.
So Mike, tell me about this whole concept of living your prepped life.
So my life is super boring. And I figured if people wanted to look through the shades into the trailer park that is my life, just kidding. That was facetious. I was just being mean. I think it's cool as an opportunity to let people into my life to see what we have going on in the background. Everything that we do is organic, like meaning it's homegrown. We're not manufacturing or fabricating anything. It's literally the lifestyle that we live. It's every single day for us, which I think is important when you're looking at people, when you're looking at company, when you're looking at industries. You want authenticity. And I figured if people wanted to have access to kind of the behind the scenes of what goes on behind a CEO who manages a survival company, then they ought to know it's not a guy who lives in a cubicle in a skyscraper in the middle of a city. That it actually is a person who's a normal person, by the way, who just happens to live a preparedness style of life. And I don't know, I entertain myself, so I figured I'd entertain you guys as well. Okay, I just had a wheel fall off the UTV. And these side-by-sides, you lose a wheel, you go sideways and fall off. So we gotta pull the wheel off, go fix it, and bring it and put it back on. It won't be good, it's easy.
Right here, you see where the tire came off right there, just dragged up, and then it just fell like just went like this on its side and slid to rest, but I had my back, you know, up against it. I anticipated it coming because you could tell the steering just went off.
Oh, hand me that rock. It's just a couple extra inches that I need. That's what she said.
Did you know there was a protest last night?
A ton of them.
Yep.
Really?
2 police officers were shot in Louisville, Kentucky during the protest.
No way.
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yeah, last night.
That's so sad.
It is sad. It's just,
Makes me cry.
it's like horrible that all that stuff's happening. I mean, it's just, it's unnecessary. It's the first time that, it's not the first time, it's the first time in modern history that politicians have weaponized people through media, and it's becoming a norm, the new norm. So I knew last night that there were going to be people violently assaulted or beat, and then everybody says it's their peaceful protest. Well, there's nothing. You can't have a mostly peaceful protest if people were shot. On my way to work in this, I don't think anybody's seen this so far. I did like a story on it. But one of the ideas for getting a Sprinter van, especially 4-wheel drive, is this idea of bugging out and sustaining life on the road or being mobile. It's not like Sprinter vans are a new thing. There's nothing innovative about people building out Sprinter vans. It's been done. But the idea with this for FIELDCRAFT, my company, and what we want to accomplish is highlighting how to bug out, getting from a bad circumstance to a better circumstance, but how to sustain life mobile-wise, like inside of a vehicle. Some ideas that we thought about is Verity or copper-lined vehicles or vehicle wraps that allow you to be protected from electromagnetic pulse or EMP attack. An EMP attack will shut down the electronics on everything that you have. And so if you have a nice Mercedes Sprinter like this 2020, it will be inoperable. Doing extended fuel tanks, but not just a Rotopack with 0.5 gallons. They have bigger Rotopacks than that, but what I mean is not just a couple gallons, actually having the ability to double, triple, even quadruple your fuel capability. If you have a 20-gallon, 25-gallon tank, and then you could double that or triple that, that's going to obviously extend your range, and that's key, because when everything shuts down, it's going to shut down because of infrastructure collapse. The electricity is out. I was down here, down the road, on the way out of town, and a windstorm came through, shut down the power to the gas station I was in while paying for gas. It shut down and shut down the electricity of the pumps. We couldn't even pump gas just because the electricity went out. Luckily, there was an alternative down the road, but that kind of ideology goes into these kind of builds. We have a booth at Overland Expo West, which will be displaying this, but think about the ultimate bug out platform, but not the cliche, stereotypical antennas coming out of my head version of it. I don't want it just to have a roll bar for the sake of looking cool. I want it to actually function well. Some of the cool features of this one, which is a 4-wheel drive version, is it's super luxurious up front. I mean, it literally is like a car. Has this cool integration with technology up front. But the version of this one that I got was a 12-packs van. I mean, this is good for transporting people, which we're going to do, obviously. But it's also already lined and set up for a basic build-out. And they're not that expensive. I mean, a year ago, you couldn't even get one of these vans because there was a waiting list out the door. When I went to get this one, there were several of them in stock. But I'm excited. I just want to tell you about that because I'm excited about all the content we're going to be able to develop from that. And I hope, even in this series, you guys kind of follow me through the journey of living a preparedness CEO life. You guys could be involved with side projects and side content that's going to allow you to see the insides of this stuff.